The Paepae Pōhaku Award was established at the Hawaii Architectural Foundation to honor people in the community, non-architects, who are supporters of a good built environment. And Kiersten, through the Historic Hawaii Foundation, certainly exemplifies that.
You know, it's rare to find someone who really excels at what they do and at the same time is equally as passionate about the cause that she supports and the mission. And that's what Kiersten does and brings to the table.
We help people save historic places. Every place has a story. Every person has a place that matters to them. And what we try to do is put those things together. What are the places that tell all of Hawaii's stories, the people who formed them, who live here, who use them, and how can they be relevant to the future? So we help people save those places, know them, love them, enjoy them, and take care of them.
She has a deep and abiding heart for places of antiquity. And she understands all the different cultures, not just Hawaiian culture, and tries to help people appreciate the richness of the cultures that we live among. So I don't know how she does it, but she does it very well. It's because she has that heart for historic preservation.
I think she sees the potential of Hawaii to be a model in the Pacific of how we go about not only preserving our spaces, but engaging and helping others to engage in the preservation, in the storytelling of our places.
We were on a national search for a new executive director, and I had noticed, particularly noticed this application from Denver, Colorado. She was a city planner, and she had a lot of experience with historic preservation and public policy. The organization at the time was really struggling, financially. And in my opinion, she almost single-handedly brought it back through her brilliant leadership and her ability to communicate with people and to draw support.
She has worked very hard to build up the Historic Hawaii Foundation, and she's taken it from a relatively small, unknown entity to a very well-respected, well-known advocacy group today.
Historic Hawaii has become the de facto defender of preservation in Hawaii. There are huge economic pressures in Hawaii. That kind of pressure is always going to exist. But I think you have to fight for visual markers and cultural markers.
It is not enough to write it down in books and to have pictures. When we lose our physical history, our buildings, our spaces, our historic sites, we lose our reflection in the waters of time. We lose our memories. Were it not for historic preservation, effort, the Royal Hawaiian Hotel and the Natatorium would both be gone. Two Waikiki icons.
An iconic landmark on Oahu for more than 90 years, the Waikiki Natatorium War Memorial was built to honor those from Hawaii who served and died in World War I. The pool and bleachers have been closed for more than a generation due to neglect and decay. A new plan has surfaced to restore the structure, but at significant cost. Some say it's worth it, others disagree. What do you think?
When we talk about what are the values that we are trying to aspire to, it's not just about the cost. It's also about who are we as a community, who are we as a people, and what does that look like. So I'm interested in seeing what happens next. Restoring and taking care of a war memorial, I think, will attract a great deal of attention from across the world.
When she believes that a particular place requires our attention, she will do her research, she will get people around that cause, and she will advocate to preserve that space. So her perseverance is remarkable.
Another project that Historic Hawaii Foundation has been involved in is the Hawaii Medical Library, and was close to being demolished and turned into a parking lot. You know, after Historic Hawaii Foundation put it on its most endangered places list, community action was taken, and ultimately the medical library was saved, and it currently sits on the Queens Medical Center campus.
The ability of Historic Hawaii to give grants, to give people seed money to help preserve things is actually huge. There's no other organization that does that, none.
Kiersten has been pivotal in keeping alive the collective community memory of the places that we've moved through every day throughout the state of Hawaii. Through her organization, Historic Hawaii Foundation, she has helped make it important to government officials, to lawmakers, to community leaders, and even businessmen. They want to develop a property. What she tries to do is advise them early on. There's something important about that property in its history, and if they plan around that historical aspect, they will have a better, richer project.
Kiersten and staff have been making it a point to, do seminars, to do site visits, and to really try to grow outreach in island communities.
This is part of an occasional series that Historic Hawaii Foundation is doing to help historic homeowners.
If we didn't have somebody like Kiersten as our strongest champion for historic preservation, we would lose that connection with our aina, with our roots.
So it's important to identify stories and histories and connect people to those sites so that they have a deeper understanding, a deeper appreciation, and eventually a sense of responsibility of kuleana, that they will then take care of it going forward.
With her at the helm of Historic Hawaii Foundation, I am just very confident that this place, my home, our home, will always be in good hands.